Hi, welcome to Converse with Nifa. I am your host, Hanifa Kut, and today we'll be focusing on a topic related to SDG 4, which focuses on ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education to promote lifelong learning and opportunities. Education is a fundamental human right, and having education can easily steer us towards community development. With me, I have a guest.
Hi guys, my name is Brian Otieno. I'm a research associate at the Africa Research and Impact Network, ARIN. My focus mainly is on STI, Science, Technology and Innovation. Today's topic will be on the contribution of the universities to the national innovation system. The government has announced that they are going to cut the funding to the universities, even though initially universities have been receiving less and less amount of funding from the exchequer. And we know that universities play a very key role in harnessing research and converting this research into products and services that have great potential to spur economic development within our societies. And now today's topic, we are going to synthesize more how the universities in Kenya have contributed, because the concept of entrepreneurial university has just started like a few years ago, when the government, of course, started to reduce the exchequer to universities, and now the universities had to find a way to generate income. Currently, from the research done, mostly between collaboration of the Africa Research and Impact Network, ARIN, and the Kenya National Innovation Agency, KENIA, we've tried to identify the bottlenecks, opportunities, and threats that these universities face in terms of the innovations and converting this research into products that can have potential positive impact in the society.
So maybe I can just ask you, putting it simply, what is this university entrepreneurship?
So the concept of an entrepreneurial university, there's no standard definition of an entrepreneurial university, but rather we have constructs that define or kind of point, acts as a pointer towards which we can place different university depending on how they are having positive impact in the society. So some of these constructs are for instance, from the OECD framework, we have leadership and governance. So under leadership and governance, we are kind of looking at the vision, the mission statement, the strategic objective, and the strategic plan of this university. Do they talk or highlight matters of innovation? Do they kind of try to highlight matters of entrepreneurship? Do they have indicators to measure entrepreneurship? And is their strategic plan aligned to entrepreneurship? It's not just theoretical, but is it also in practice? We're also looking at in terms of the policies. We have the intellectual policies. We have, which is the IP policy. We have the innovation strategy, and we have the research policy. Does this university have these policies that are operationalized, and are the researchers aware that these policies exist? Do they know in terms of the share value? Like, if I have an innovation, this is the amount that is coming to my pocket, and this is the amount that is going to the university. We are looking also in terms of human resource. When these universities are hiring for lecturers or are giving consultancies, do they look at the entrepreneurial background of the staff, or do they look at the innovation background? Because we have technology transfer offices in these universities, which ideally are offices that help researchers commercialize their products, yes. But the problem we have in this university is that these technology transfer offices are not operational. Like, we have offices here. Kenya, we've so much invested in brick and mortar, but these offices are just there. We don't have technical expertise. I'm from the engineering department. If I go to a technology transfer office, I'll definitely want somebody who is aware of my innovation, so that when I'm going to file for a patent, he or she can guide me, okay, you should take your innovation from this step to the next. But we don't have this expertise in these offices. So these are some of the constructs that we kind of try to, it's not like a rank, but it's a criteria upon which university can kind of mark themselves that, okay, we tick these and these and these, and we're not doing well in this and this and this. We're looking at entrepreneurial education. In terms of an entrepreneurial education, do these universities have common courses that kind of spur the entrepreneurial mindset among the students and the staff? Not only in theory, but that we have a common course on entrepreneurship, but it's practical. Like, we can evaluate the outcomes of these courses. In Europe, most of courses are done in a very interesting way. A lecturer can go to a particular university, particular industry, and they kind of identify the challenges or a particular problem that needs to be solved. I remember when I was doing my MBA, we were kind of analyzing Amazon reports. We were analyzing Tesla reports, and those were part of our assignments. And I think it's not just like, okay, I've done a common course on entrepreneurship, I've passed through the system, but how have these courses impacted me? How has it kind of spurred an entrepreneurial mindset in the students? And we're also kind of looking at the relationship between this university and the industry, which is a major gap in Kenya. Like, there's a very weak link between the universities and the industries. In terms of, for instance, while we were doing research, which was funded by the Lemelson Foundation from the United States, we found out that industries, they want to collaborate with universities, but from a very weak angle, because the processes for preparing the MOUs are kind of very tedious in the universities. I'm an investor. If I come to the university, I'd want the agreement signed very fast, and tomorrow products are in the market. But you find the bureaucracy in these institutions are kind of long, and it will take 2 or 3 months. An investor will be like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm going to another place. Another construct is internationalization, which is how this university interact with the international space. Our universities are doing pretty good. We have a number of exchange programs in these institutions, and this kind of just spurs the concept of knowledge exchange, and our researchers are able to learn from other universities what they are doing well and what they're not doing well. So these are kind of some of the constructs that we kind of try to define what an entrepreneurial university is.
Yeah. Interesting that in the definition itself, you've taken us even through the challenges that are faced and the different things that are faced in the process. Meaning there's still somehow a gap even in the Kenyan universities when it comes to that. But now, just asking you something related to it. Do you think it is possible in Kenya for that to happen? And
yes.
What do we need to do for it to happen?
Well, for me, I think it's possible. We have a very big potential. Most of these institutions, like, we have very able researchers in this institution. We have like very talented young people in this institution. I think the main problem is capacity building, and we need training. We need to kind of create awareness, and it's more of not the one shoe fits all, but the government, instead of just going direct to like cutting the funding to these institutions, we should focus more on building capacity. Not just brick and mortar, but we do a scoping exercise, identify the challenges and opportunities. Generally, most of the institutions would say funding is the problem, but if you do a serious diagnostic, you'll find the problem is technical expertise. Yeah, so we kind of identify the challenges within these particular institutions, and we strengthen these areas. So if we don't have an incubation center where as innovation or as students can come into, and this innovation is kind of nurtured until it finds its ways to the market, then we're not going to help this institution even if we give them 10 billion shillings. So the first thing is kind of building capacity within these institutions, and then the government should create an enabling environment so that these products can find their way into the market. Yeah, and in terms of also of policies, there should be kind of an interaction because you'll find the reason because we don't have, like I mentioned, kind of a strong linkage between these institutions and the industry is weak policies and also long bureaucratic procedures. So the government should come in and kind of try to bring some incentives so that as an institution we are going to benefit, and the industry is also going to benefit, and it's a win-win, so that the university don't see the industry that the industry is using us, or the industry feel like the university are using them. So those are kind of the key pointers.
So is it safe to say that innovation goes hand in hand with entrepreneurship?
Yes.
Okay.
Entrepreneurship is how can I convert my product into something that I can maybe get money from.
Which we need in our universities, because at the moment we are facing a high rate of unemployment, and yet we have graduates who can't even tap into the job markets or are not in a position to use what they did to develop something different to earn a living through. So education is very important for community development.
Yes.
So looking at this, university entrepreneurship, in your own words, how is it important towards developing our community sustainably?
Okay. Universities have a third mission of having a positive impact in the society, which I think should be their first mission. Technically.
Yes.
And universities don't, like, we can't measure the impact of a university just by the number of graduates we are producing. Yet, we are kind of importing things like matchsticks.
Are we importing matchsticks?
Yes.
Wow.
We're importing matchsticks. So, like, you're from the engineering and you can't make a simple thing as maybe a charger. So, I feel like as universities, we need to produce graduates or students who can make positive impact into the society. Like a student who can identify a gap within the society and address it. We should have university converting their research products, their research outputs into products that can address specific issues within their immediate society, create job opportunities. There will be flow of capital within the university environment, and I think it's a win-win. So like universities have a very big potential in terms not only producing the graduates. Of course, that's the overall mandate, but in terms of how much we were having a discussion the other day on when we were ranking universities in terms of innovations, and an interesting discussion was, how would you kind of rate a university which has been there for 20 years and a university which has been there for like 5 years.
5 years.
The university which has been there for 5 years has
innovations.
Most of their graduates are self-employed, but the university which has been there for 20 years has so many graduates, with some few number of them employed in the government and some are not yet employed.
Yeah.
Like, how would you say that this bigger university has more impact than this small university? So I think it's just a matter of how these universities can convert their products and services into their research outputs into products and services that can have potential impact, positive impact in the society in terms of job creation and goods and services. We were at Jaramogi Odinga University the other day, and they have some project called Insefood, where they make cricket biscuits and all those things. And I feel there's a potential for food insecurity. Cricket biscuits.
Interesting.
Yeah, and this is a very big potential for food insecurity, not only in Kenya but in Africa as a continent. So, if we have systems in place that are able to kind of take these kind of ideas to the next level, then we are not going to complain of university having less funding. We are going to now be complaining, how can we take these products, not just within the particular vicinity, but globally.
Actually, that merges with something that I just wanted to ask you. Now that we are talking about university entrepreneurship, if these things are happening within the university and these people are under the university and maybe there are certain patents and agreements that are signed between, what happens after the specific innovators move from the university and out? Do the universities remain and they continue getting the benefits, accruing the benefits, or can this person be able to stand on their own 2 feet when they get going and have a way in which definitely the university contributed to their success, but they're easily able to be a part of the community and develop their communities using their innovation? Because, for example, the person who developed the cricket biscuits might be from northern Kenya and the university is in Nyanza, you see. So once the person leaves the university, the patent and agreements were registered under the university, you see. But if the person is to go back to northern Kenya, what happens?
Well, I'll take you back to incubation centers, which ideally are kind of centers that nurture. It's the same way like you can have an egg until it hatches. So like it takes a student who just has a rough idea of what they want, and they take them through product development until commercialization. So if we have policies in place, remember I talked about IP policy and research policy and an innovation strategy. So an IP policy should clearly define an innovation and how the researcher and the university are going to benefit. When you're filing for a patent, it also should kind of outline the share value. So there are things called spin-off. So when a university feels like, okay, your innovation has reached this particular level and now they want to convert it into a company, that is what we call a spin-off. So when an innovation translates into a spin-off, the innovator and the university can agree, okay, this was your idea, but we incubated your idea. So you're going to run on your own, but a particular percentage, even if it's 1% or 2%, will be coming back to the university and you will remain with the rest.
Okay, that's nice. But now,
and just a quick one. Say, suppose a university has 1,000 spin-offs. And each of these spin-offs bring in maybe 10 million yearly.
Yeah.
How much money is that? It's a lot of money, and we will not have to depend on Exchequer or any other source of funding.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess having university entrepreneurship is a win-win on both sides.
Yeah.
Because if we don't have universities which can foster entrepreneurial skills and innovation, the person remains as the person is when the person leaves the university.
Yeah.
But it is more or less like giving back to the society. Yes, you can have an idea, but the university helps you to implement it.
Yeah.
So you'd say it's not about the idea at all.
No, it's not about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you. This has been a very nice conversation. Anything you want to add, or one of your favorite quotes?
One of my favorite quotes.
Yeah, and parting shots.
No. What I'd really say is, as a government, we should focus on kind of building capacity in these institutions, and entrepreneurship in universities in Kenya is a new concept. We should nurture these universities to realize their potential and create an enabling environment to kind of spur the translation of ideas into products and services. We recently had the first Kenya Innovation Outlook, a collaboration between Africa Research and Impact Network and Kenya National Innovation Agency, of course funded by FCDO. And it kind of gives a breakdown of the different sectors and how they contribute to the national innovation system. So I think it kind of creates a framework that can see a kind of flow of innovation from top down, and in terms of policies and strategies and regional policies, how these trickle down to, so it's kind of a bottom-up, top-down approach.
What I can add to that is, however much we always look at the government and recommend things to the government, we should always look at how different stakeholders can work towards pushing a specific agenda to achieve what we want and to have sustainable development all through.
Yes.
Thank you for being a part of this.
Thank you so much, and I look forward to more collaboration in the future.
Yes.